You people can ask questions. Ah, you people can ask questions. So let's just get right into it. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. A while back on my Instagram and also my WhatsApp, actually, I put up a link where people can ask me questions, anonymous questions. And I think that when you ask people anonymous, when you put that anonymous question thing, a lot more people are confident to ask questions. But anyways, let's just get right into it. The first question is, when are you going to have kids? Whenever God says we should have kids, do you lead a teenager to Christ? Do you lead a teenager that is not saved to Christ? Yes. When I'm preaching, whenever I'm preaching, I do that. What equipment do you need to start a YouTube channel? I mean, just your phone. Like, stop making excuses. Stop giving your mind excuses. Just use your phone. Like, for the longest time, I was using the phone. I would think I had like an iPhone 7. My first videos were using the iPhone, and I only got a speaker, like a mic, when self not too long, or maybe like 1 year after, how many months down the line after I started my YouTube channel. So just use your phone and then you go from there. I think for me, at some point, you can start to make it like milestones that, oh, when I hit this milestone, then I can get a mic. When I hit this milestone, then I can get a tripod. When I hit this milestone, then I'll get light. But to be honest, if you're making excuses to starting a YouTube channel, stop making those excuses. Film with natural light. Go to the park if you need to, where everything is quiet. Just find ways to make sure that you achieve whatever objective you have on YouTube. The next one is, how do you make a change in a team department where you think you can do a lot, but the HOD says otherwise, or not seeing or having the same vision as you? To be honest, the fact that you feel, oop, the light is out. Guys, these are the things that happen. I just realized that my light is out. Sorry guys. But yeah, how do you make a change in your team department when you think you can do a lot, but the HOD says otherwise, or not seeing or having the same vision as you? I think that's the reason why you're there. To be honest, it can be very frustrating, honestly. But I mean, try to understand where the HOD is coming from. Is it because they don't have enough funds? Is it because they're afraid of certain things? Is it because they don't want to take responsibility for something? Is it that they don't want the stress of something? Is it like, and just be that change you want to see? I know it's easier said than done, but I've actually been in a similar scenario. And just be very, first, be very humble. Second, pray about it. Third, try to be empathic. Try to understand whatever that person is going through and how you can help. If it's something about it being stressful or not, like being in the person's timeline, or certain programs or initiatives, activities that the person just feels is stressful, try to see how you can make it more relatable to them and more achievable. And you don't want to be that young person that is just, maybe they feel that has puffed up shoulders and feels like they can do everything. No, you don't want to do that. You want to have their blessing in whatever you're doing. So make it feel very relatable. Try to propose solutions. Maybe if you've prayed about something and God has told you to do something, try to propose solutions in lights that you think that they would be able to understand. If they're not understanding it, and never backbite, never like go cut corners and say, this person is the one doing like this, and kini. Like, don't try to, it's not nice. Someone tried to do that at one point and it wasn't good at all. So don't be that kind of person that causes division within the body of Christ. Pray about it. Pray for the person. Be humble. Try to, and the Holy Spirit, to be honest, is like the perfect guide. He would guide you on what to say, how to say it, and basically how you can help the person. Put your foot forward. Put your money where your mouth is, right? If you're saying let's do something, like, bring up solutions. Don't just bring ideas without solutions, especially if the person thinks that it might be a lot for them at that point. So bring forth solutions, make it more relatable, find out how you can do it. Just, and always make sure that you make them look good regardless of whatever happens. To be honest, you're doing it for God. You're not doing it for man. So always remember to put the person in the best light and do the best that you can while praying. Next one is, how did you manage your waiting period before you got married? So if you don't know, I did like a singles creed. I'm gonna leave it down below, and if you're watching this, you have a 15% discount code YT Single. So I had a bucket list of the different things I wanted to do before I get married. Like, it's not like marriage is a cage, but to me, I really wanted to maximize that season, right? I didn't want to feel like I didn't do something that I was meant to do. So that really helped me out. Also, the fact that I knew that I had a limited time in my church because obviously when you get married, you leave your church. So I put myself all in. Like, you don't even want to know. Like, I did everything. I acted drama. I was in teens class. I was in children's class at some point. I did some things with the youths. Like, I was just doing different things, and it was fun. Like, I made sure that I just utilized every single season. And someone said something that it was because someone made a comment actually that it's because I was not at a marriageable age. That's why some certain things didn't affect me. And I think it just has to do with your perspective in life, because there were people that married at 19, there were people that married at 18, there are people that married at 20, 21. I know a lot of people are marrying earlier and a lot of people are marrying later, but it doesn't mean that you are shortchanged in any way or that you are disadvantaged. You know, when they spell that word disadvantaged, just remove the dis and make sure that you are advantaged and you take the advantaged position or decision in every single thing that you're doing. So don't go with the mindset of, I'm meant to be married by now. That's because you have a fiscal clock that you're watching or timeline of other people's lives. So don't do that. Like, just live your life, explore, travel. I had like bucket lists. I had events that I would go to. Like, even till now, that lifestyle hasn't changed. Like, honestly, I have different events that I'm going for. I have different like personal development things I do, and I don't let that change, right? Because I want to keep growing. I want to keep improving. I want to make sure that I am this ready vessel that God will use at any point in time, and I am not shortchanged because I am not prepared. Next one is, please can you share some activities that the teens church to make the class a lively one? Be very real. Know what's going on. Know the trending game. Sometimes even try to ask the teenagers to lead certain game sessions. Talk about intriguing topics that are popping, topics that will catch their ears. And know in the past, sometimes when you do debates, talk about sex, talk about alcohol, talk about like all these social vices, you get them more dragged in and they start talking. Teenagers are very opinionated. You just need to know how to engage them, to be honest. And yeah, I think just knowing how to engage them, knowing the kind of teens that you have in your class, what they eat, what they watch, where they go to, where they live, those kind of things kind of influence their perspective on life. And with those perspectives, you can draw them in closer and make it more exciting and do more games and different discussions. But I found that discussions, games, and all these fun things that make them interact and associate with other people, even if it's like cooking, a bake sale, car wash day, we did a lot of that. Even skills acquisition, we actually did a lot of that. It was so fun. But yeah, that's one way to get them engaged and make them popping and make the class a lively one. Why did you and hubby move to Ireland? Work. What do you do for work and has left in Ireland? I'm a program manager, so a content creator on YouTube and like manifesto. So that's what I do for work. I was left in Ireland. Left in Ireland is great. It's very calm, it's as if you're living in a developed village, basically. I can't believe I'm calling Ireland a village, but where I live, it's very commonwealth, very reserved, conservative. I think that's what I can say. And I think that's what I liked. So like growing up, I would always have, because I always liked the monarchy for some weird reason. I don't know where I picked up that fantasy from, but I was always obsessed with like the buildings, the architecture. So like I was always at the back of my mind. I think there was even one point in GS3 that I started speaking like a British person. My classmates would remember this in secondary school. And that was just my sign of, oh, I'm gonna do this in future, and I was investing into it. So sometimes you need to act the part. Even when God blessed Abraham and said, "Look east, west, all the land. This is what I'm giving to you." He told him walk in that direction. So I'm happy I walked in that direction when I was young. I'm still young. I'm happy I walked in that direction, and I'm happy I'm here now. It's Ireland is lovely in Europe, and it's like a good destination. That's all I can say. I don't really know how to say more than that. Next one is, I like a guy that's close to me. We're both singles, and he hasn't said anything. Do you think it's okay to ask him out, and how? Well, for me, I would never ask a guy out. I would ask him what's up, and that's what I did with my husband. If you watch our video of the video that we did together, I basically asked him what is going on, like what's up with us, and then I made him take the lead. So sometimes you might want to ask suggestive questions, and like just ask suggestive questions, because like you're not here to play. I know sometimes it's easier said than done, especially if it's a complicated situation, but I would say that you should take your time, like that man that took his 5 talents very seriously and went to go and invest those talents because he knew his master is going to come. So as unserious or serious as it sounds, you're going to give account of every time, every day. So if that account that you're going to give, that account of time that you spend with someone is not going to be meaningful in future, or when you're giving God a record of all the things you've done in earth, then it might be worthwhile to reconsider and really just take ownership of the decisions you're going to make in life, or your life outcomes. So I wouldn't say ask him out. I would say have a discussion and ask questions, really important questions. And if you don't know what questions to ask or where to start, I have a single script that has over 100 questions to ask. The guy will be tired. And when you're asking those 100 questions, like, I don't know, like when you guys go out, like, what do you, I don't know, but like me, I always ask questions. Maybe it's just my nature, but when you go out, ask questions. When you're chatting, ask questions. Slip in different questions. Before you know it, within 3 months or even 1 month, all the 100 questions could have been asked. So you can even have a question date, get to know me date. Anyways, that's that. But for me, I wouldn't ask any guy out. I would ask questions that would make the guy state his intentions, and if his intentions are not clear or he's just being wishy-washy, I know that I am a prize. So if he doesn't acknowledge that prize, someone else will. But ask questions, yeah? Ask questions. The next one is, what is the best way to make friends or build a community if you're used to being a loner? Just build friendships and a community. Go out. To be honest, contrary to popular opinion, I actually like my space, and I actually like being to myself. I have like a handful of friends that I can count that like they know my ins and outs, and we're very, very close, and they can call me at any time. And I mean that handful. But I mean, when you move a lot, I had to go out of my comfort zone to like make friends, associate with people, go to parties, all those different things that I would usually not do. And there was a time, in fact, when I moved in recently, I like I realized that I don't have any professional friends. I don't have any professional network. Like, what's going on? And I really needed to settle in the professional space. And I think it was International Women's Day. I just looked on Eventbrite, International Women's Day events. I saw one event. I went there, and like till date, I still speak to most of the women I saw there. And most of them, I go to them for like different services. So just put yourself out there. And actually, I think you need to address what you're afraid of. Sometimes, or I think before, when I was in my lunar season, I was afraid of different people having different expressions of me, or like I feel like they will have different pockets. They get to know me and they just go, what if they hurt me? What if this happens? And I just decided to just be comfortable with the fact that they get to see different expressions of God's love. So regardless, I get to make an impact in any way, and I get to interact with people, discover different types of people, discover God's love in the purest forms, and in whatever form that may be. And if anything bad happens, I just brush off and move on. And also by just and being intentional, like taking intentional steps, going out, meeting people, not being on your phone all the time. You know, sometimes when you're on your phone all the time, you just miss like certain things that can maybe even be like conversation starters. So yeah, just take intentional steps, go out, stop being on your phone a lot, interact with people. In church, stay for like 2 minutes extra, 5 minutes extra. Don't always be in a hurry to rush out. Make eye contact. If you make eye contact with someone, smile and be like, oh, nice jacket, like those kind of things. Just take like little steps, and hopefully you'll be able to come out of it. Next one is, do you matchmake? Do you have a good looking, smart, godly single man? No, I don't matchmake. A lot of people ask me this question. I don't know why. But I don't matchmake. But good looking, smart, godly single men that are watching this video, please comment in the comment section. A damsel is waiting for you. I think I just like connecting people. I just like love. People think that I matchmake, but I don't. Like, I actually don't. I don't know if I could be of help. I'm sorry if I couldn't be of help. Next one is, I'm currently in a God-centered relationship. I never really struggled with loss up until this relationship. I feel ill-equipped on how to go about it. Physically, we maintain boundaries and have never crossed them, but mentally, I've never had to deal with these thoughts and desires. What can I do? To be honest, these thoughts and desires they're not out of place. I won't say they're normal. To be honest, in Romans 12 verse 1, I think, let's read it. Lies always gracious. Guys, I've just found, I don't think it's the oldie me, but I just find that there's a scripture for everything. And I look, feel like this is turning into a chit chat video, but let's open to Romans 12 verse 1. And it says, and so dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to give your bodies to God because of all he has done for you. Let them be a living and holy sacrifice, the kind he will find acceptable. This is truly the way to worship him. Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will know God's will for you, which is good, pleasing, and perfect. But I think the thing that struck me in these two scriptures is the fact that it says, let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. And the only way you can allow God to transform the way you think is by studying the word, as funny as it sounds. And every time you get those thoughts, play a message, listen to a book. Whether I like it or not, let me give a funny scenario. You know, like since I got married to my husband, there are certain things that I don't say that sometimes I just find myself saying them. Right, subconsciously, because I hear him speak a lot, it has maybe injected into my spirit. So when I say it, I'm like, oh my God. But like, it's not something I intentionally like, I'm like, oh, I must get this, or I must not do this. It's not like a routine that I was checking. And it's the same way, by allowing God to transform you, you really, really need to make sure that you're not putting any avenue for the devil. You need to really sanctify whatever you're watching, whatever you're listening to, making sure that those things are edifying, right? There's some songs that when I was waiting, I couldn't listen to. There's some movies I couldn't watch because I knew that they would stir up those desires. So at every point in time when maybe a funny thought comes up, I would usually like distract myself with something, go do something, listen to a message, listen to something, read a book, right? I even have this screen time rule. In fact, I've bought my books for next year, guys. I'm so excited about that. But yeah, I think that's what has helped me. Like, don't feel guilty. Make sure you don't put yourself in compromising situations that you have to explain explanations that could have been avoided later. Make sure you are listening to edifying messages, the word. And yeah, don't beat yourself up about it, because funny enough, the devil would always want to condemn you for those things. But don't beat yourself up about it. Brush it off. Move on. It happens to everyone. I think the mental battle is a really serious one, and I pray that you would overcome in Jesus' name. But like, those are the things that helped me in my waiting season, and I hope they help you too. Next one is, how were you able to balance service to God as a teenager and your school life? By really prioritizing. Like, there's nothing like balance. Sometimes, or a lot of times, let's say we have like meetings, for example. Now, when I was a student in school back then and I was the head of a unit, we would have to wake up 5 a.m. to go to church. We'll stay for 2 services, and even like at the end of and even at the end of those 2 services, maybe there's like an extra meeting or stuff, but I always try to make sure there's room for it. So sometimes I even wake up way earlier to make sure that I do my task, and then sometimes I sleep late. There are certain events that people would go for, you wouldn't see me there because I'm trying to make up for lost time. And I would say that it helps me, like it helps me work on that pressure, but it just made me be very intentional, and also helped me to prioritize. Like I knew that service to God was important. I needed to invest time in studying the word as well. I can't afford to be lukewarm because of a position. Before I'll turn to the sons of Sceva, but yeah, that to be honest, I was just able to prioritize it by being intentional and prioritizing basically. Someone used to say this thing: pray like you've never read and read like you've never prayed. So that really helped. And to be honest, sometimes it says that heavy is the head that wears the crown. Sometimes when you're wearing something, it's like, I must not follow, or I must do this, or I must do that. So you become more conscious of like every little time, like even 5 minutes to you. You won't want anybody to waste your time because you know like the different responsibilities and obligations you have. Next one is, what's your advice for someone coming to do their masters in Ireland in 2022? Which is better, UK or Ireland? To be honest, I don't know. I've not done a masters in Ireland before, but I would say UK because I think their institutions are way more developed, and yeah, I think I would say way more developed. I would just say that UK has access to more opportunities and more things from what I have seen. I've not done a master's in Ireland, so I don't know. But I think it really, watch my degree video, the video I made on degrees. I would probably link it in this video. I don't know how to link it in this video, but I'll probably link it down below. But I think it also depends on you on what you want from your master's. Is it exposure? Is it experience? Is it community? Is it settling down with family? Is it job? Like that will really depend on the location you pick, to be honest. I don't really know much about Ireland and doing your masters in Ireland, but I sincerely know that UK has a lot more opportunities, and also I think it depends on where you want to work. By the way, guys, let me know what you guys want me to film, so I'm gonna film them. It motivates me. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.